What is going on YouTube? So today I'm going to do an update on my 2006 Mustang GT. Since the last video I've done a little bit to this car, mostly cosmetic stuff, and I'm just going to go around and point those out, and I'm also going to add links in the description. So if you want any of these parts, they're right there. You can just click on them, it'll take you straight to the link and I can get you hooked up. The only thing I can't link is this wicker bill on my stock GT spoiler. I don't know if you guys remember my last video, but I was complaining about the way these GT wings look. But this is a Brandon66 Polar. He's on Instagram. That's his Insta. Brandon66 Polar. Hit him up, message him, and ask him for the stock GT wicker bill. That's exactly what this is. And it really changes up the whole look of the rear of the car. So since we're already back here, these are the Gen 1 vector tail lights. These are the smoke housing, or smoke diffuser, which are these 3 bars, is what they consider the diffuser. You can get them smoked clear, which is what these are, smoked red, which means the diffusers are red, and you can get them non-smoked, which they would just be white or red. And these little reflectors are also smoked. I think I've already had the car posted with the black stripes, but originally this car had silver stripes on it. Now I have matte black stripes, which look a lot better. I have a pipes muffler delete. Basically it's an axle back, but it's just pretty much straight pipe. So I have the factory cats. I have an exhaust video on my YouTube. I'll link that in the description too, so you can listen to it. It sounds pretty good. So around the car, I've added these side splitters. I got these off eBay. They were supposed to be a direct fit, and they were not. They were way too long. I had to trim them down. As you can see, when I trimmed them, it had some burrs and stuff, and I filed them down, but they turned out okay. They were not worth the $100 that I paid for them, but I'll link those in the description too, but you will have to modify those. In the front, this is a GT 500 lip. I had it for 1 day, and on the interstate it broke, it cracked right here. As you can see, I have zip ties holding it together. And when it cracked on the interstate, I'm guessing the high wind speeds put pressure on this crease. If I can get the camera to focus, there's a little crease right here, and I'm assuming the wind broke it. And when it broke, this lip, it folded down like this. And as you can see right there, every time I hit a bump, it just kept shaving the material down. I sent a picture of this to the company I bought this from off eBay. They refused to replace it, which I can understand. They think that I hit something, and truly I didn't, but I just wanted to see what kind of warranty they would do with it, and they wouldn't do anything. They figured it was my fault. It was just the construction. It's like a cheap plastic, and I guess the wind just caused it to break. No big deal. I have it zip tied. I'm in no rush to replace it. It still looks good. I may eventually buy another one. I think it was $100, so it's not bad. But as you can see right here pretty good. It looks like the zip tie has broke right there. So I got the stress crack right here. It goes all the way across it. But yeah, I'll have that link too. But buyer discretion, it will break. It's not really a quality piece. These are stick-on hood pins. They're just for looks, because anyone that really knows the hood latches on these cars, or if you actually had hood pins, they would mount right here. But this kind of gives it an old school, like Boss 429 look, I think, the gray with the black stripes. And it looks like the car from Gone in 60 Seconds. I cannot say the name of that car, because everyone knows that company will basically rape you if you use their name and you monetize a YouTube video. They will come and they'll probably end up taking this car. So yeah, anyways, this is it, all washed up and everything. And that's basically the minor details I've done to it. It's really changed it up. The black stripes, I think, really helped it. And these wheels, by the way, were on the car when I bought it, but they are American Muscles billet style wheels. This was a staggered setup. They're 18s and the fronts are 8-inch, and the rear are 10-inch. And I'm running 255 45s in the front, 285 40s in the rear, which I have 295 45s coming in to replace these, as they're getting kind of wore out. I do not recommend these Nittos. I do not like them. They're great in the summer, in the dry weather, but in the rain, they're slick. I replaced the headlights too. I just went back with the factory look just because they really match the fog lights. I don't want to smoke it out. I don't want to go too crazy with this car. I like how it's just kind of, it's really subtle. You'd still just think this is a bone stock 3 valve. And I've also updated the interior a little bit. Nothing crazy, but I just want to brag on this car because whoever had it before me took really good care of it, because these door cards, which are known for pilling up, especially right here in these corners, my interior is flawless basically. I have no rips in any of my leather, which as you can see, it's kind of dirty. That door card is doing great. Just take that out. But yeah, I really need to clean it up. But this GT emblem I got off eBay, and it's a really nice interior piece. Let me put the key back in and start the car right quick. It's like a brushed aluminum. It looks really good because this car is the premium package and has the brushed aluminum dash. So yeah, it looks a lot better than the stock black pony steering wheel emblem that it originally had. I still have the stock shifter, which I like the way this looks, honestly. It just kind of, everything blends in. I got some floor mats. Dickies floor mats, I got those from AutoZone. I just wanted something rubber, that way it's easy to clean. But the interior is not perfect. I mean, it's pretty much 98% perfect, but the only flaw I have is the ripped carpet right here, which the floor mat covers it up. I guess the previous owners didn't use the floor mat, and over time their heels wore that carpet down. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the engine off and show you some minor stuff I've done to the engine bay. And like I said, these hood pins are fake. They're just for looks. They don't get in the way. Let me get the hood prop here. So this car has the Ford Racing Performance chrome plated valve covers that everyone loves. They do not make them anymore, so they're pretty rare and I really like them. But recently I was street racing a buddy of mine. He has a turbo 2 valve Mustang, and I was running the stock tensioner, which was never designed for a supercharger, and it finally just gave out. It shredded my belt. This is a 6-rib belt. It had 3 ribs left on it. It still limped me home. So I went and bought the Steeda heavy duty tensioner, which this thing is twice as thick. Where you see that welded bead, the original tensioner was as thick as one side of that welded end. It was pretty thin. So I got the billet wheel with it too, which is a 90mm, because I'm running a 325 pulley, which is an 11 psi pulley. All this dress up stuff, these little caps, were on the car when I bought it. They look really good. This car has the Ford Racing handling pack, or performance handling pack, I believe is what it's called, which means it has like an 1.5 inch drop all the way around. Front and rear sway bars are enlarged, and you have stiffer springs, and the shocks are set up a little more aggressive. It rides okay, but this car has no body roll whatsoever, which I love that. I'm gonna back up and get the hood propped open and the whole car on the frame. This thing does clean up pretty good. I was looking at GT500, and I actually looked at 2 of them, and they both sold underneath me. And I just want to go ahead and take a walk around video of this car anyway, and that way I can link this video to anyone that's interested in buying this car. but I also wanted to do a walk around with the different parts I've added to it, just because I have a lot of questions asked on Instagram, and this will just kind of have every link, and of course people can visualize it in person, seeing it on my car. And I do have the factory tail lights. And that's pillable tint on the signal lights and stuff. These black stripes can actually be removed, and the silver is underneath them. The silver is actually painted on the car. So originally what I wanted to do was remove the stripes completely, but that means the whole car would have to be repainted, so black looks a lot better, and it's growing on me. Like I said, it's got that old school look to it. So there's the stance with this car on 18s with the Ford Performance Handling Pack. I'm going to shut the hood and get another walk around of it. So let me know what you guys think about these hood pins. Yay or nay? Like I said, they're stick-on, they can be removed, but I kind of like the old school look. I've had mixed opinions, but I like them. And I know a lot of people hate chrome, but I think just a little bit of chrome in small doses like this. I originally had the pony blacked out. I stripped it back off and went with the chrome pony. And the hood pins, you can get them blacked out too. But I like a little bit of chrome because it matches the fog lights and the headlights, and it matches the polished lip on the wheels. So I think it all kind of blends in, you know, nothing's like over the top on this car. And really anything can complement tungsten gray, which is what color this car is. Eventually I might smoke out those rear reflectors because they're red. That's really the only thing it's not been smoked out. I had the license plate cover on, it was tinted, but the cops have been hammering us pretty hard about that, so it's gone. But it did look even better. Maybe one day I'll eventually go with maybe 5% limo tint and a windshield strip. Oh, and this is new. It's a little shorty antenna that I put on here. I guess the original one was like 5 foot tall and looked like an RC car. And some just other specs on this car. That way if you're new to the channel and you're just watching this video of my Mustang for the first time, this car does have a 2.3 Whipple, the high output kit on it. And it's got a, according to the previous owner, it's got a built bottom end. It's got pistons, connecting rods, and bearings, stock crank, stock heads, stock cams. And it has a dyno sheet. This car was putting down 470 wheel horsepower and 435 foot-pounds of torque. So this car moves pretty good. It can pull on stock brand new Coyote engines, the 5.0 Mustangs, SS Camaros and stuff. I still can't touch a Z06. The almighty LS7 put a good freight train on me, which that's on my channel too. I have a couple races in Mexico, of course. I mean, it holds its own for a 3-valve. These cars are kind of dogs from the factory, but this one does okay. And a 3-valve just is probably one of the best sounding Ford engines ever made. I like the Coyotes, don't get me wrong, but it seems like everybody's straight popping them nowadays, and they are so unoriginal. And they hurt my ears. I don't know about you guys, but straight pop Coyote just hurts. It's ear piercing. This car, like I said, straight pop, it still has the factory cats on it. I have an exhaust video, and this car just sounds good. It's not overbearing. And I originally bought this car from the third owner. I'm the fourth owner. The first two owners both live in California, and the first 110,000 miles on this car was spent in California. Somehow it ended up in West Virginia. The third owner had it for the next 7,000 miles. So I'm the fourth owner and bought it at 117,000 miles back in July, and I've already put 5,000 miles on it. It's got 122. Well, it's about to roll over 123,000. So, and I've had 0 issues, 0. And I have been hard on this car. The only thing, like I said earlier, that's gave me any trouble was that tensioner, which that should have been replaced to begin with. But other than that, this car has been great. AC works, the heat works, you know, power steering. It's a good daily driver. It's what I originally wanted. And it's pretty quick too for what it is. And it looks good to boot, so I can't complain with it too much. It does have a Moriso oil pan. It's 8 quarts, so this car takes about 8.5 quarts. So oil changes are kind of expensive because I put Castrol Edge 0W40 in it, which is a European blend. It has titanium in it, which is really good for sheer film strength. And I ordered off Amazon. It's the cheapest place you can get it. And I run, of course, the OEM spec oil filter for it, the Motorcraft. And like I said, I have no complaints with this car. This is my first Ford I've ever had, and it's been good to me so far. I just can't wait to get the new tires for it. And eventually, the guy I was talking about earlier that made this rear wicker bill, which is modeled after the S550s, he does a diffuser for the rear bumper and some side splitters that attach to the trim of the GT bumpers. And I think that will really just complete the overall look of this car. Since I had the GT 500 lip and the side splitters, I need something for the rear. I originally thought about getting a California Special bumper because they have a built-in diffuser, but it would be a lot cheaper to buy just a diffuser to put on this car than having to repaint it and have the black stripes reapplied on it. So let me know what you guys think. Should I go with the diffuser or leave it alone, or just pony up and get the California Special bumper? Either way, the rear end, it still looks good, but I think it needs a little minor touch. But anyways, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.